Hello everybody, welcome back to From Rhythm to Algorithm. We continue on with our derivation. What is sensorality? What is a sensor? How is censorship defined? So my rights continue to be violated. I continue to ask for a little bit of money to eat properly, to sleep properly, and to work. My research and my proofing profoundly extends past the Millennium Prize problems, but it has satisfied all of them. I mean, and this is a complete demonstration of analysis. Speciality is special with an ITY, producing a fundamental axiomatic conceptualization. The natural tendency to differentiate for sexual antagonism is so much more profoundly involved than the Millennium Prize problems, but it is a public contract. The research posted simply on this channel is undeniable, and it satisfies the terms of those contracts for payment. And so my life has been destroyed. My overall earning potential has been destroyed. Everyone knows it who's watching these videos. If you happen to stumble upon these on YouTube, I just make these intros for I don't know who. But continuing to document for my estate and for legal prosecution in the future, my rights are as violated as profoundly and as seriously as possible. I'm being held against my will in the jurisdiction of Michael DeWine, Andrew Ginther, and Donald Trump. And I'm simply asking for a little bit of money to eat properly, to sleep properly, and to work, and to leave this fucking hellhole that is Columbus, Ohio. With that being said, we continue on with our derivation, simply going through our linguistic analysis, this well-defined process of reduction, of derivation, until we arrive at this unique syllability. What is a censor? How is censorship naturally defined? So we just continue through our steps. Last episode, we covered this, again, overall form of language, the complete word age at the end of a word, such as shortage, specifically to sensorality, but outage, just the linguistic use. It's a complete word and it is used as a suffix. So we continue along. What is chirality to singularity? What is deniability to multipliability? Sensorality denies pliability. Direct iteration. What is pliability to plausibility? Sensorality is plausibility. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is plausibility to potentiality? Is pausing possible, right? All of these overall forms of language, realization is not unique. Is pausing possible? That is the fundamental conceptualization for the movie Click. And it's fitting in our derivation. Click is not a pop, right? We went through that along last summer. What is impossibility to impassibility? Sensorality is passibility. And so this was a dichotomy, again, where it felt like a word form that is a word form, and then I Google it, and there was a dichotomy, passible, P-A-S-S-A-B-L-E, and passible, P-A-S-S-I-B-L-E. And so the spelling that I derived is on your screen. It seems to not really be a used word form. Again, there's just some sort of definitive sequence of linguistics, just pointing anything out along the way. What is syllability to passibility? Sensorality is assembly. Sensorality assembles semblance. Direct iteration. What is semblance to balance? What is assembly to assortment? What is assembly to ordinality? Sensorality is the semblance of order. Semblance resembles. Direct iteration. What is semblance to decadence? Cadence, decadence. What is decadence to declaration? Sensorality is a declaration of clarity. Natural definition, direct iteration, emphasizing declaration is one of these words where it feels like the double A separated by one consonant feels like a natural word. Continuing to point that out just for emphasis. What is clarity to independence? What is clarity to density? What is clarity to opacity? Is unique opaque? Direct iteration. Sensorality is an opaque plaque. Sensorality is a plaque. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensorality is plaque. Plaque, unique. What is a plaque to a placard? What is a card to a placard? Sensorality is an entire entity. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is a body to an entity? Sensorality is body. Natural definition, direct iteration, and then our fundamental sen sodality, again our linguistic containment statements or elements, sen sodality and sen sonality, and then we just kind of, right, we went through that sequence in order, but we have the syllable or these letters OD, and it clearly is the base or forms the body. Sensorality is body. Is frequency free? Right? Frequency, this phonetic preservation, just emphasizing that again. What is free to degree? Sensorality is a free degree. Natural definition, direct iteration, degrees of freedom. Again, this chronology consolidation, wrong order. What is entity to eternity? Is demeaning desensitizing? Sensorality is demeaning, sensorality is meaning. Right? Words have meaning, sensorality is meaning. Natural definition, direct iteration. Is demeaning demoralizing? Is demoralizing disconcerting? What is definition to meaning? Sensorality is the meaning of morality. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is generation to generality? Sensorality generates generality. Direct iteration. What is generation to creation? Is creation rational? Direct iteration, again emphasizing ration is in creation. Creation is ration iterated by a CE. Is reality rational? Sensorality is the reality of coality. Natural definition, direct iteration. Again, these generalized word forms, re-prefix, ality suffix, co-prefix, ality suffix. Sensorality is existence. Sensorality is coexistence. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is being to existing? What is singing to stinging? We've hit that one several times. Are stings sore? Sensorality is sore storage. Sensorality is a storage store. Natural definition, direct iteration, emphasizing sore iterated by T is store. What is memory to storage? What is memorality to storage? Memorality stores what is right. Direct iteration, emphasizing, keep saying memorality remembers what is right, and then we emphasize the geometry of that RE and that elementality sequence feels weird. Now we have the word stores in there. Sensorality is emergency energy. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensorality is a memory store. Natural definition, direct iteration. Is memory trendy? What is trendy to handy? Sensorality is a handyman. What is hand to man? Adam is a man. Duh. Direct iteration. What is shorting to shortening? What is shortening to lightning? Emphasizing that shortening has like food or like that Nabisco or whatever. But that has an E in there and lightning does not have an E. Is shortening mitigating? That was the conceptualization, like the food product, and then shortening to lessen. Right? Shortening is the opposite of lengthening. Is lengthening prolonging? Length is long. Natural definition. Is contracting shortening? What is change to sensation? What is charge to sensation? What is a store to a station? A coalition is a cohort. Natural definition. Sensorality is cohortality. Natural definition, direct iteration. See, on that pronunciation, cohortality, it's almost like you get like a double pronunciation of the T. A band is a cohort. What is a colleague to a cohort? Is a constituent a colleague? Is a colleague a peer? What is a league to a level? Sensorality is easy league. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensorality is league eligibility. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is agility to eligibility? What is ability to eligibility? What is rigidity to eligibility? What is rigidity to serendipity? Again, rigidity's got that GDT, serendipity's got DPT. What is serendipity to stupidity? What is elasticity to eligibility? What is elasticity to escalation? What is escalation to declaration? What is determination to declaration? Sensorality proliferates uniqueness. Sensorality is quality, sensuality. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is quality to consent? Sensorality qualifies consent. Direct iteration. Sensorality spends quality time together. Direct iteration. Sensorality gathers together. Sensorality gets together. Oh, we have to get together sometime. Direct iteration. Together to get her. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensorality is together. Sensorality is ether. Natural definition, direct iteration. Big conceptual statement throughout history, an object's moving through something. Again, the complete physical conceptualization is resolved. But this word ether pops up linguistically a bunch. And you can directly see it in together. Sensorality is ether. Is electricity liquid? Does electricity flow? What is electricity to viscosity? Sensorality regulates electricity. Is electricity technology? Regulation is regular. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensorality is an agora, the Americanized, Englishized spelling of the Greek word agora. Sensorality is agorality. Natural definition, direct iteration. Is agora a stora? Stupid little dad joke, but again, the sociological phenomenon of dad jokes existing. People finding dad jokes funny. I know we've covered it. We've covered the entire logical structure that exists, but it's just, simple identification of irony. But an agora, I think most literally would translate to like marketplace. But is an agora a store? Is an agora a stora? Is a bank a store? Sensorality is a bank statement. Natural definition, direct iteration. Right? Just like we had, what is the age of a ship, or sensorality is a ship age. We're getting some sort of, again, complete, comprehensive, generalized statement of what a sensor is. What is a statement to a moment? Sensorality makes a statement. Direct iteration. Is analysis rigorous? Sensorality is rigorosity. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is rigor to vigor? Sensorality is vigorosity. Natural definition, direct iteration. Again, we hit that word yesterday. It's big in math class. People say, oh, this is not rigorous. Oh, this is not rigorous. And every single one of you goofball idiots has never done a proof before in a society and culture that has never done a proof before. So what is rigor to you? I have no idea. But again, emphasizing on an empirical, physical, feeling level, right? It's that objective knowledge sense of you learn calculus and it's independent of you, but you learn it. And if you weren't to learn it or not to understand it, you have no questions that it's still a legitimate science and it's rigorous. It is empirically valid outside of one person. And to demonstrate rigor, like what is rigor to truth? What is rigor to proof? Again, correct is correct. Proof is proof. It is what it is. And so rigorous is kind of, again, this appeal, certainly in mathematical ontology of, hey, I've covered all of my bases, but it's just like, you guys don't know what a proof is. So how can your proof or your demonstration or your analysis be rigorous? I have no idea. But certainly a big buzzword in mathematics. And again, you guys have never done a proof before. So not sure what to do there. Sensorality is rigorality. Sensorality is vigorality. Again, these word forms, rigorosity to rigorality. Again, it's just common denominator, combinatorics of our linguistics, getting our common syllability in the right order. Is rigor complete? That's what I would say, yes, right? Completeness is completeness. And so it's like, Is my proof rigorous? Is my research rigorous? Here as it is what it is. Speciality is special with an ITY. It's directly, literally true. So where does rigor play a role in that? Right? Complete is complete. Is rigor comprehensive? I think conceptually that's what most people are appealing to is, hey, it's got to be rigorous, it's got to be comprehensive, it's got to be meticulous, it's got to cover all of the bases. It has to be correct. You can't prove things that aren't true. We would not be able to sit down and make one of these steps if sensorality wasn't a something. And we're just working out all of what the linguistic implications to figure out its unique definition. What is comprehension to apprehension? Comprehension is understanding. Natural definition, or just natural definition. What is comprehension to resonance? Sensorality resonates with comprehension. Direct iteration. Is resonance synchronous? Does synchronicity resonate? Sensorality is a bank truck. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is a store to a truck? Sensorality is a truckload. Natural definition, direct iteration. Is discharging unloading? What is humor to maturity? What is maturity to density? Are stores agentic? Right, again, dad jokes versus like edgy, crude humor, which is another big fan. Again, I just watched, not super recently, I'm not sure if I'm going to do a review, but Little Brother, just a movie with I think John Cena and Andre something on Netflix. But just again, kind of like the two type of humors that I like are like really stupid, kind of like dad humor, dad joke type of thing, and then pretty straightforward, crude humor. So what's the relationship of humor and maturity, right? What is humorality to morality? Again, just adding some commentary, but I find both funny. Could be simple, but right, maturity, it's just like, what do you joke about when you get older? It's like sex jokes, right? But just like the kind of the simplistic, mundane ironies of life. What is maturity to density? Are stores agentic? What is an assistant to an agent? What is agency to autonomy? Is autonomy automatic? Sensorality is automaticality. Is organic automatic? Is automatic agentic? What is sensation to automation? Sensorality is automatic sensation. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensorality is agentic sensation. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is sensationality to cyclicality? Sensorality is a sensation cycle. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is sensation to expression? What is censorship to pressure? What is pressurization to sensation? What is pressurization to appreciation? What is pressurization to inflation? Is a compound a product? Sensorality compounds. Appreciation compounds. Direct iteration. Now logically, exponential growth, compounding interest. Does interest appreciate? Or does interest exponentiate? Again, exponentiation can't mean more mass. Sensorality is product potency. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensorality produces potency. Does potency proliferate? What is monopolization to inflation? So direct economic context here, but right? Everyone talks about monopoly as being, not fair competition, not multi-parties to drive prices lower. If one guy owns absolutely literally everything, he can set the price at whatever he wants. And people's natural inclinations, like, oh, he's going to make it an immediate, infinite price. It's like, all right, he can just set the price lower if he's that wealthy or that rich or whatever, right? But just overall, logically, if you have a complete monopoly, that could limit inflation, right? I did want to talk about that economically, but just, again, kind of the natural, hey, if we have monopolization, that's not fair market, it's terrible prices. But in total generality, it's just like, monopolization is complete market share. And so it's like you could have a very reasonable price and monopolization. Kind Because I still think I don't think. The single driver for inflation on a given individual product is this overall business environment where maximizing profitability. Again, just pointing stuff out. What is monopoly to monotony? What is tone to pole? Sensorality is monotonality. Natural definition, direct iteration. Sensorality differentiates monotonality. Sensorality differentiates tone. Direct iteration. What is orality to tone? What is tone to frequency? Sensorality lowers its tone. Direct iteration. Tone is one. Natural definition. Sensorality is one tone. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is tone to time? What is tone to temperature? Tone, sun. Sensorality is sunality. Natural definition, direct iteration. Again, this containment, sonality is what we said, but son, that is a well-defined word in English, sun, right? Sunality. Sensorality stores personality. What is memorality to personality? Is personality memorable? Is personality valuable? Sensorality is memorability. Natural definition, direct iteration. Brad, that's not a word, but wait. Well, maybe it is. Maybe we have a little bit of empirical evidence. Sensorality is memorabilia. Natural definition, direct iteration. What is memorabilia to paraphernalia? Is syllogism combinatoric? Is combinatorics syllogistic? What is a partition to a division? Sensorality is syllogisticality. Natural definition, direct iteration. Syllogistic, logistic. Are logistics efficient? Is logic logistic? Are logarithms logistic? Direct iteration. Sensorality is/are the logistics of logarithms. Natural definition, direct iteration. Again, one of these forms to point out, it's super trivial, but right, sensorality is the logistics of logarithms. Doesn't really feel right. Sensorality are the logistics. Definitely feels wrong. Just some sort of, again, we're not in this complete correct context, this common syllability to have this direct iteration of what sensorality is. Are logistics algorithmic? Direct iteration. Again, we're going to have some sort of conceptual motivation and progress, and our linguistics will legitimately run out. We will show sensorality is, again, just some common statement where, again, scale, escalation, generosity, energy, we're connecting sensorality to sensorality, right? And we just have to find its unique linguistic iteration in all of ontology more readily, again, because of this slang, because of this personal articulation of knowledge that repeats every 7 to 8 years or whatever. It's more of, again, the information's out there, but we have to have our conceptual progress in a place where it makes sense to have the motivation to iterate something, to put this word here, to connect these two words, so on and so forth. Again, emphasizing my personal life is destroyed every single minute of every single day. My health is destroyed. All of my property is destroyed. I will never have a family of my own. I will never have a career. And I don't have a good relationship with my parents' family purely because of the crime that continues to be committed. To the academic community, you are disgusting. You are criminals. And you are just currently insulated by bigger criminals, which is literally the law enforcement structure. But you guys have no values. You follow false authority. You break the law. And this is the example you set for your kids. In 10 years, we went from we have no idea what the foundations of mathematics and physics are to the point where now we're just listing theorems and just, it is what it is. And then you can't open your mouth and articulate fundamental differentiation about the physical world around you without directly producing my property, which is theft, racketeering, conspiracy, and you will never be allowed to use my research. And I'm not joking. Like, again, people have treated me so poorly. You guys wanted to compete over nothing? Well, you won the stupidest prize in history. But I'm a practical dude. I'm a normal dude, objectively. So I'm trying to live some quality of life somehow. If I had a 600 square foot cabin in the woods, but I had the assurance from this massive security apparatus I can literally do whatever they want, then I could have total quality of life for real. And why the answer to that continues to be no is beyond me. You've destroyed every aspect of what it means to be a human being. No one cares. Again, there are no values, there are no morals, and people are so steadfast in following false authority, nothing could occur. I have no expectation this will ever change in my lifetime. I continue to ask for a little bit of money to eat properly, to sleep properly, and to work. I cannot speed up the conceptual progress. We've already demonstrated completeness, so there's no magical step. That is what I have for now. I'm begging. Nobody cares. Destroy another man's life and just hide behind your screens and doesn't count. But to my estate, every charge, every case, press it yesterday, and obviously there are no laws exist and no one cares. That is what I have for right now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.